Yo, so, all right, check this out real quick before we get started. If you ever get a junk mail, so I get lots of junk mail all the time, and most of the time it's like credit card offers and stuff. Yesterday, I got something from Pew Research. It was in an envelope, if I still have it. Looks like this. To current resident. Can you see that? Pew Research Center. If you get something like this, do not throw it away thinking that's just junk. I honestly haven't even read what they're asking me to do, but inside of that, they gave me 2 actual real dollars. No joke. How many people are throwing away these things? I'm gonna go ask for them around town. You probably make $500 just asking people for their Pew Research junk mail. Anyway, business idea. If you're needing cash, go ask everybody for the Pew Research junk mail set up. That was pretty sweet. I don't know what I'm going to do. I might give one of them to each of my kids and let them go candy shopping. That's probably what I'll end up doing. All right, so if you can see down here, we are negative at the moment. We are currently in drawdown on the TOPSTEP account. About $358. So we ended yesterday with a little bit of disappointment. I think we were $140, something like that, in the hole. We stopped trading, and then last night in the Hong Kong overnight session, I saw a couple of setups in some low volume areas. Took them with a pretty wide stop, so I ended up stopping out $200 each time. They just weren't moving in the way that I wanted them to, and honestly, I wasn't paying attention. They were stupid trades, and I probably should have stayed away from it. And it is what it is. But we got, 1 minute until research comes out. Let's take a look at what's going on. There's a TOPSTEP account. Let's go over here. Housing starts, building permits. These are going to be interesting coming out, so basically, consensus is looking like, consensus is looking like they want it to stay the same with a little bit of jobless claims increasing is what we're looking. So we want this, we want jobless claims we need to go down. We need this to come down for any kind of stability here for us to continue this rally. If this gets hot and actually comes in at 207 or anything above that and it prints high, here we go. Let's refresh. Market doesn't like it. Market is reacting. Let's go back over here. Yeah. So initially it looks like I'm refreshing. Come on, data. Give me the data. Permits are up. So building permits are up. Month over month is way up. So we're hot on building permits month over month. Housing starts are a little shy. They're not quite as much. We've got 1.4 million, 1.46 million housing starts. Jobless claims came in way low. Holy crap. 187. Previous was 203, expecting an increase in jobless claims to 207 over the holidays. It actually came in at 187. That's a big difference. That's going to push us around a little bit. Still waiting for Philly Fed to update. What else do we got here at 8:30? That's about basically it. So 4-week jobless claims are down. Continuing jobless claims are down. And then initial jobless claims are way down. So I'm gonna let that settle in. I'm gonna let that data figure out what it wants to do, because I don't think anybody was really expecting that low of a print. So I'm gonna wait for that to come through and settle down. We've got some action on YM, not as much as I had hoped. It'd be really good if this thing just dumps right now, because on my Darwin account for the month, I have I basically have a long swing position on a massive sell-off, is kind of my longer position on the market. Yeah, I agree with you, Wave. So like, I've always had an issue with stops. So let's talk about stop losses real quick, and you can actually see this stop loss here from yesterday. But so like, the problem with stop losses for me is it's a shield, right? So it's there to protect if in the event the price flushes, moves against you quickly, or does something erratic. So if you're using a stop loss to set up a trade, and you're just setting a stop loss at a sort of a maximum loss you're willing to take on that trade, and then you know that in between that you'll probably get out if you're watching and paying attention to your trade. In my opinion, that's the best way to use a stop. Unless you're just a really undisciplined trader and you can't get out of a trade and you need the stop loss to manually stop you out. My problem that I've always experienced with the stop losses is like, for instance, right now, if I'm going to take a short position, we've got a buy indicator here on the 1 minute chart. All right, so let me actually zoom in on this real quick. So we've got a buy indicator here on the 1 minute chart. And if I'm going to take a short position, I'm going to wait for it to pull back and get closer to these dynamic ranges. Right? I don't want to take it when it's extended down here, particularly when there's a consolidation area and a reversal. Right? I'm going to wait for it to come back up, and I'm going to take a position on a pullback. When I take that position on a pullback, I am automatically entering into an agreement with myself that this price cannot go farther against me than I am setting my entry, right? So when you enter a trade so that it does not continue to move against me and I'll lose money, right? Because you don't want to stay in any kind of trade that is going against what you expected it to do. That's just nonsense. So if I set a stop loss, let's just say like right now, right? So we're actually getting a little bit of reversal, which is why you don't want to take this trade down here. But if you take this you take a trade entry here closer to these lines, I know, okay, if it continues to move and it breaks structure here, I'm out. But if I set my stop loss up here around the 430s, thinking, okay, in this region, it's going to pull back, or in this region, we're going to get some sort of, sorry, I got allergies like crazy. In this region is where I want my stop because I don't want it to go past and lose this much money. You're mentally setting a place to where you know that price is expecting to go. And so when I look at that, it creates an issue for me, because now I've got this kind of expectation that the price is going to come here, and if it does go there, I'm going to get out. Well, if I have an expectation that the price is going to go there at some point in time, then I might as well take a long position for it to get there, or a short position for it to get there. Do you see the issue with the mentally having an actual stop loss? If I take a stop loss and I set it somewhere where I think the price could go and I don't want it to go beyond that, well then you should be betting in that favor. You should be putting an entry in that the price is going to go in that direction. If that's what you are going to set your stop loss. So that's my issue with the stop losses. I normally, every time I set some kind of stop loss, it usually touches it. So I try to set my stop loss way far out of the ratio, to a point at which I'm looking for like a max drawdown. Like, for instance, if I have to step away from my computer, I'm going to set a tight stop loss. If I have to watch a trade, but it's not really working and it's a long trailing stop, and there's not much volume, and I'm expecting volume to come in, I'm going to set a longer stop in case all of a sudden volume comes in and we get a ton of liquidity enter the market, and next thing you know it's moved too far against you and you need something to stop the bleeding, right? So in the case of housing starts, CPI data, if you're trading news and you get those huge flushes, right? You could blow an account instantaneously if you've got a huge position and you get CPI or FOMC minutes come out, or any one of the Fed guys come out and say something. All of a sudden you've got this massive move against you that you weren't anticipating, or that you were anticipating, you just were hoping, and you need a stop loss to terminate that trade before it continues to blow your account, or get your max stop loss and keeps you from trading for the rest of the day. So that's my 2 cents on trading with the stop losses. That's how I do it. Normally I trade without stop loss. In this account, I'm trying to trade a little bit more with a stop loss on screen, because I'm trying to show on screen to anybody watching, try to demonstrate a little bit, hey, this is where I'm expecting price movement to go. But when I'm trading off screen or doing my stuff, usually I don't even set a stop. Normally it's like I'm active, I'm watching the screen, and this is what's going on. So that is what's up. So we just had data release. The data is, I guess, good. Good news is bad. I don't know. So like when I'm looking at jobless claims, I'll take you over here real quick, because I'm not going to trade this right now until it settles down. If you're looking at the news here, so this was kind of what I was interested in, because this is going to help show for me if our goal at the end of the year is to buy a house. If our goal at the end of this year is to buy a piece of property with the trading income we make in the next 6 to 8 months, well then, this kind of data is going to really drive and help us understand where we are in this market. Right? Where is the real estate market at right now? So currently, it looks like, when we're talking about building permits, housing starts month over month, these right here are important for us to know, because this looks like nothing's slowing down, right? Everything is doing good. You've got more building permits than previous. You have month over month, you have, 2x, 200 times. So you're up almost 2% in the black, when last month we were down 2%. So we've recouped all of it plus 2% on month over month, which means that, people are active right now. There's a lot of demand. There's a lot of people starting to buy houses and getting approvals for the building, which means that construction, your commodities like lumber, drywall, sheetrock, screws, Home Depot, those are going to be climbing, because now you've got the permits that are engaged or active, and people are going to need product to start building the house. You got housing starts. Again, this is a little bit shy for housing starts, but still not what I'm. This means that we got to still have a really healthy housing market. Month over month for housing starts is down significantly. So month over month, there was no consensus or expectation. The forecast was negative 8.3, and we came in above that. So that's good. Anyway, so I look at that and I see, hey, we're still in a healthy market. We're not actually struggling here with the real estate issues. So right now is still not the time to buy a house. Right now is the time when people who are needing to buy houses are buying houses. That's where. So we're going to continue to trade and make our income here and wait for the deal in real estate to come. So let's see. So it looks like I've got a short setup coming here. I might trade this thing. I'm not sure yet. Still waiting. Uh-oh. Did I lose everything? Did I lose internet? That's problematic. Can you guys see me? Looking for longs, man. Market is flushing. You're just gonna buy into this wave? I'll come over here and take a look at our 1 hour. So on the 1 hour, you see a little bit of curl. You've got a new tap here. So you touch this resistance. This is a pretty hard resistance. You can see on its way down on the 1 hour chart. You've got touch, 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 touch. So I'm actually looking for a continuation of this trend. I'm still looking for a continuation of this trend here. Possibly following this number 3. So I'm actually looking for something like something down here, to be honest. We're probably, what, this is Thursday, so Friday touch, Friday test, so something like here, a breakdown. So you've got at this 37,400 level, you've got a pretty clear support that we're breaking back through again today. So yesterday we broke through that. I could show you kind of where that's coming from. So if we go all the way back here to December, you've got this hard floor that was created by this massive sell-off. I believe this was a CPI print. What was that? December 20th. That might have been minutes. So you've got this massive CPI print, or this hard low, and it kind of doesn't correlate with anything that is beyond this, because we had a huge bull rally all the way through late November and all the way through December. But you get this massive sell-off, and it creates, this is a hard support. So if we come back over here, you can see yesterday we touched this and then bounced. This morning, this is at 2 a.m. for Euro Open, where we pressed back through, then bounced back up. So this was yesterday too. Yesterday, so this was yesterday. So yesterday we touched, and now we're up here in today, and you've got another breakthrough. So this is looking pretty bearish for me. If I was going to say anything, I think we're going to be coming all the way down here into the 37,100s on the Dow. I think we're going to come down here and test 37,100, possibly even 3,700 on the Dow. That would be over here with this previous December low, December consolidation over here that we had for a couple days. That would be a level that coincides over here with this dynamic moving average is moving up, and you've got this sort of trend line that is being respected that's going to follow that down. So that would be that. I believe that we're probably coming down to this location at some point in time in the next 2 to 3 days. So I'm going to be looking actually for, yeah. So wave, are you looking at when you're doing an Elliott wave, right? So you're trading Elliott wave plus a 1 minute price action. So when you're trading that, are you using any kind of tool to forecast your Elliott wave? So this is a 1 hour. Actually, I'm going to come back out here. I'm going to leave this here so we can kind of see what's going on. And I'm going to move back in to see if I can catch a trade here today. Yeah, so there's the touch on the low. We have a new break of structure, a new lower low. So I might be looking for another short here. So I'm going to wait until this consolidates a little bit. We still have, man, we have 1, 2, 3, 10 more minutes before the 9 p.m. volume comes in, or 9 a.m. volume comes in. And 9 a.m. usually creates a reversal pattern, pre-market reversal. And then you get 9:30 that just is erratic. 9:30 is everybody trying to. We still have a lot of room, so we're down here in the depths, and if we don't see some kind of push up and we stay breaking these lows, keep creating a couple more new lower lows, we could see the 9 a.m. volume come in and just really push this down. I'm going to try and come in today with just 2 contracts too. So I'm actually going to be a little heavy-handed based on our current TOPSTEP rules. So instead of going, if we weren't doing this challenge, what I'd be doing is looking to be in at 4 total contracts, taking 2, and then adding another 2 if it's moving in my direction, to be holding 4 contracts into the move and then getting out. So I'd be no more than 4 contracts in a different account. And actually, what I may end up doing, just so I'm having a little bit of extra income with the trade, is I actually might start another combine and just copy trade it on a ×2. So put a 2 multiplier on the copy trader. That way, anything I take in this count, I've got another one that's kind of duplicating it in the background at a 2 multiplier, and moving the account along faster. So I might actually do that sometime next month. Gotcha. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's a smart move. So most of my strategy wave also is, so that all of my Elliott wave is, I think, a great tool. I like the theory behind the Elliott wave setup and strategy. I think that you can get really complicated with Elliott wave, but I'm with you on using it as a forecasting model, because I do believe that the markets move in psychological barriers or psychological waves, which is kind of where Elliott, why that theory exists, right? He uses the Fibonacci levels and uses that to kind of forecast, hey, if the wave and the cycle of buying selling completes and ends up here, then you start moving into a reversal pattern or a pullback or a drawdown. I think what he calls it is an impulse, is the forward, and then a what do you call it, a cross current or a reverse current on it. So I use a lot of my method too here, and my strategy is based on what I would consider Elliott wave psychology. Because a lot of it is you got a leg, or you've got a hard push. What I call is just emotion. So you've got a lot of emotion that happens, and then you've got the reaction and consolidation. So you get a pullback, and then you get some more emotion. So I base a lot of my trading strategy on the emotional behavior of other traders. So I'm looking at psychological levels. I'm looking at hard actual price levels, where price has been in the past, where it's possibly and likely to go. I'm creating a set of probabilities for myself. And then based on those probabilities, I use the 1 hour, the 5 minute, and the 1 minute to agree or confirm and affirm those probabilities, and which draws it down to a narrower range. And then based on the setup, I will use the 1 minute to determine what is the current emotion and force and mass of the market, and then I'll use the 5 minute as a representation of where the possible trade or trend is going. So where the current intraday movement is going. Yeah. Wave was here yesterday when I had this right here. I had this set to practice. It took 2 great trades, and probably could have ended the day positive, but instead I was doing some back testing the evening before, had it in practice mode to see if I could get the Motive Wave platform set up before I went live, and still had it in practice mode yesterday when I was taking some trades, and that was awful. But we are in 5033 is the current account. I'll pull this up so you can see for sure where we're at. So session for today, like I said, I took 2 really bad $250 losses. We're at negative 555 on the session for the day. Those were some Asian session trades that I took last night around 9 p.m. Eastern. And you can see we're currently in drawdown on the TOPSTEP combine. So we're about $358 in drawdown currently. So we are negative on the TOPSTEP account as it stands right now on day 2 or day 3. I'm not too concerned about that. Not too concerned about that at all. And then just so you know, that was what did I say? So we got the account number is S15033, and if we come over here just to confirm it, so I want to be where are we on the browsers? Let's show you on the TOPSTEP dashboard. This is the same one. So S15033, same TOPSTEP account. You can see some of the metrics for 2 days or 3 days of trading. It hasn't been that great. Low volume trading. I haven't been taking much risk, and that shows in my chart. But I'm just trying to ease myself into this thing. I don't want to just kind of like trade my normal routine and try and grow this account quickly. I want to be out of that mindset for this particular account, and I just want to make sure that we're taking appropriate trades, because there is no time frame to pass this, and the goal here is not to pass a trading combine. Anybody can pass a trading combine. We got 63% winning trades. Our winning and losing averages need to be more skewed than this. I need to have a bigger winning average here. Usually I'm around 300 or 200 to 350 bucks on a winning trade. Just haven't been letting the trades play out as much as I normally do. And the average losing trade, this is about accurate. So I'm about 200 or less on a average losing trade. That's going to go up after today. So that's the account. I just want to make sure that that we're clear. I mean, I'm not here trying to pull the rug over anybody or convince someone that I'm trading something that I'm not. That's just not my game. Yeah, 9:30 is going to tell us what's going on right now. This is an obvious area of consolidation. We're just going to chill here. We got 5 minutes until the 9 a.m. volume comes in. We normally see some move or a push in a direction, then a reversal at 9:30 when we get data. But the housing data didn't move the market because it was basically the same outside of the jobless claims. I'm surprised that the jobless claims, initial jobless claims, didn't push the market around more. 187. So we were down almost 20,000. That's a pretty big guess, especially when they were expecting it to increase. Maybe maybe we're gonna see that come out here at 9 a.m. So maybe in 5 minutes we're gonna see a little bit more of that reaction to that news come out. If you're new and you're just watching right now, the goal here is we're trading a TOPSTEP combine. We are going to, it's a $150,000 combine. We're going to trade this combine until we have enough capital. So we're going to go from the combine into an XFA account. If you're not familiar, that's an express funded account. It's still a demo account, but you can withdraw funds from your earnings. Maybe it goes into a live account, maybe it doesn't, but we'll be able to at least pull money out of the market through the XFA TOPSTEP account. As we pull money from the XFA TOPSTEP account, we're going to deposit that into a Chase banking account. Into that Chase banking account, I will show those actual statements online once a month. So at the end of the month, we'll go through an actual, we'll go through each of those monthly statements, show the P&L on the trades, show the deposits and the withdrawals on the Chase account, so you can see clearly we're starting with this much money in the account. We use that much money to buy a TOPSTEP combine, and we deposited X amount of money into the account. Hopefully it's $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 that we accumulate over the next 6 months into that Chase bank account. Then once we have enough funding secured, we're going to use that funding to go purchase real estate, which is in my opinion, the greatest wealth building tool on the planet. And you can argue with me until you're blue in the face, and you'll be wrong about that, because real estate is the quintessential way to store money and still have access to use that money. It increases your leverage, it increases your capital, it increases your ability to move in and out of other types of asset classes. it provides you a shelter if things go wrong. You have a place to hunker down and live. There's so much that comes with owning real estate. That is what the goal is here in this account, is to use our trading skills to purchase real estate. And that could be a flip. We could find a wholesale deal where we just sell it and trade up our money. We could find a buy and hold rent. Hopefully the next 6 months real estate market, a lot more supply hits the market. We see some deals come on. But right now in my area, and I live in Central Florida, that ain't happening. All right, we got another leg happening here. We're coming down on the 1 minute chart. Coming down here on the 1 minute chart. I might take a short here soon. Waiting for this to kind of settle out. Right now it's stalling. I need for another new low to be made here before I feel like we're going to continue moving. I need another move to come down and then another pullback. So I'm interested too. So I don't know enough about Elliott wave strategy. If you're watching, about Elliott wave, or you can comment below. So in a decline, this would be our start, right? So you have 1, then you have 2, then you have 3, then you have 4. So this would be 5. This move that we're in would be the 5th part of that cycle before we started to see a reversal, right? It's the same either direction you go. On a 5 minute, it would be here. On a 1 minute, we're starting here with 1. So this would be 1, 2, 3, but that would break it because it's a new high. So this would be our new point. You'd end up with 1, 2, 3. So we're in the third wave. That'd be what I would assume is what's going on. 9 a.m. Here comes a bunch of dry air. I'm used to the humidity. I want to be breathing in moisture. It's basically like living in a nebulizer in Florida with the humidity. So when you get dry air, it makes my throat scratchy, and it, I don't know, it changes me. Corrective wave. That's what, yeah, that's so. Gotcha. So in a corrective wave formation, which is basically the opposite, or declining, then you've got the WXYZ as your formation patterns. I'm actually gonna research that a little bit more tonight when I get off the stream, because I'm pretty interested in knowing some of these other strategies a little deeper. I've always just traded my momentum and my risk to reward, and just basic straight price action with moving averages or RSI or the MACD. And then I've looked at and seen enough of most strategies to understand why what I'm doing is accurate or inaccurate, and changed based on some of the other trading psychology, trading strategies that are out there. But Elliott wave, Dow theory have always been the most interesting to me, because it deals more in actual trading behavior and trading psychology. So I've always been more interested in those types of things. Man, I'm still just consolidating here. I want to take this short, but this is getting too tight. So you got it's kind of just coiling up here, and it's probably going to continue to coil up until looking like it's going to be a short. Looking like it's going to be a short. So life stuff that's going on while we're waiting for this to set up. This morning, we have a Jersey milk cow. So we this morning got up and did the milking situation on the cow. And my wife was kind enough to jump in the truck and go get hay this morning. So she's actually texting me about hay as we're waiting for a trade. Usually that's a part of what I do during my days. I go run around and get farm stuff and soil for our other business, for our produce business. But this morning, since I'm doing live streams more often, she was kind enough to jump in the truck and go pick up some hay for our cow. Our little Jersey heifer, or not heifer, our Jersey. We're waiting for a heifer to be born. Actually, she's pregnant right now. All right, I think I'm going to short here. We're tight. We're respecting. I'm going to create a tight stop loss. I like this setup. We've got some price action here. It's respecting these lines. I feel like on both patterns, the only thing I don't like about this setup right now is on the 5-minute chart. We still have some room to retest up here. So there's still some gap in here. So I feel like I'm going to wait, see if this can fill in and bounce off of this 382s. So I'm going to see what happens here on this little pullback. And this might be our short opportunity for the day. I got to take some Olerace or Claritin because my sinuses are driving me crazy. All right, here we go. The other thing about streaming early in the morning is I don't mind streaming, and I'll stream to myself. But the goal of streaming, obviously, is to increase the amount of people that hang out and watch and talk, so I'm not trading alone, and to kind of, trade through this with other people. And I know that it takes time to build a following and stuff, but in this, it's really competitive right now, right? So right now in this 9 a.m. window, you've got trades by Matt, you got Market Clubhouse, you got Tanya Trades, you have Tori Trades, you have Patrick Weiland, you have Josh at the Stock Market Live. Like, they're all coming online right now, and they have massive stream followings. I normally watch those guys at this time while I'm trading. So to stream while they're online, and you got TOPSTEP TV now, which is on. So trying to build any kind of audience at this stage while they're all like deep into saying hi to everybody doesn't make much sense, because most of the traffic is over there watching them because they're pros at what they do, and rightfully so. In the meantime, so that was this right here is going to keep me from thinking about shorts. We got a little bit of a weakness. It came back up, put pressure through this moving average, this dynamic resistance band right here. On the 1 minute, I'm going to wait for this now. So now I'm at a point where you have, I'm getting back in the long bandwagon wave. I know that that's where you've been this morning, waiting for that long setup. So now I'm at a point where this convergence is about to start happening. So as these dynamic resistance bands get tighter, they're going to meet up with this, and we're going to start seeing come on. We're going to start seeing this coil up. My internet would play nice today. So back up here to the 600. So you're going to start seeing, you got this little divergence pattern happening. We're going to see it coil up, and it's going to converge, which is going to create more of some upward long pressure, some buying pressure. So I'm going to let that correlate, have some confluence over here with the 5 minute. Let's take a look at what we're at here. 1 minute, or the 1 hour is still looking weak. 1 hour is still looking pretty weak. ES is looking really strong, but it's testing this 600 and might want to bounce or consolidate here today. And the NASDAQ today is doing what it does, moving on up. So NASDAQ is doing great. NASDAQ might have been the trade this morning. I should have been looking at that. I was so focused on the Dow companies with housing starts that I didn't even look at tech. Well, that's a bummer. Okay, cool. So, well, that's a little bit predictive in where we might end up today. If we end up here, let's see. So, on the NASDAQ companies, it's starting to cool off a little bit. We got this nice little bounce. So, if this continues to rip up, I'm gonna look to take a long position on YM. We'll let NASDAQ kind of tell us where we're going today, just like it's been doing. So you're buying when the price goes down, Wave. Are you? But what's your average hold time? Are you holding for what, 30 minutes, an hour, to let that position right out? Also, are you trading minis or micros? Because if I take a long position now, or I let's just say I buy, which is, I can average in on this kind of downward action. I could average in on a mini, which is what I trade. But if I accumulate to 2 contracts and it continues against me in that trend, I'll be down $1,000 in a heartbeat on 2 contracts if it continues down and takes an hour, 2 hours to finally reverse back up into where I know it's going. So if I was trading micros, that might be good. I'm going to take a long here. I like this. I'm going to take a long. I'm taking 2 contracts. I'm just going to have a stop up here. I'm in long. Wait a second. I went short. You got to be kidding me. Close out of that. Buy. All right. Now I'm long. All right. So we're long. I'm going to bring my stop loss down here as just kind of a protective stop loss, but I'm going to be pretty tight on this thing here. I don't want anything fishy, but this is a good rebalance and consolidation that has happened, and now we got a little bit of a break of structure outside of that consolidation pattern. On the 1 minute, it's looking to come up here and get back inside of this range that I want it to be in. So this dynamic range. So I've got all these bands set up, the spaghetti models. When it starts coming up inside this range, I know now we have some targets here that I can start expecting it to follow through with. I've got a flat position, but an open trade because I had a stop and I just blew that whole trade. How did I have all this stuff set up? So this is 2 days in a row when my order chart has not been set to default. Gotta be kidding me again with this. So that was the trade. I took it, and this is 2 days in a row. So something's going on with my order chart here. I don't know. My default is usually a long, right? So when I open this up, it's usually set to a long market with a stop. Somehow, I just took a long stop and then added another stop. So, $100 loss on just a stupid mistake. And it is what it is today. This is the joy of trading. That would have been the move, man. That was the trade. It's okay. It's okay. There will be another deal. So I'll let this now come up since I've missed the move. I need for the first pullback. So now what I'm going to do here, since I missed that move and my entry, I'm going to let this thing pull back down. That's going to probably be around the 390s on the YM. So I'm going to let it come back and retrace about 50%, which is going to correlate over here with like 396, 395. We'll probably get a buy indicator at that point in time, and then I'll go ahead and take the long position into open and probably not hold through open. And I'll double check my order window this time because that was ridiculous. Get a little bit more of a pullback on the 1 minute. I need for it to come back down here on the 1 minute and to be around 37,400. We need about two more candles before we get a buy indicator over here on the spaghetti models. And then you've got kind of the pressure that's happening here. So on the 5 minute, this is the little bit of a selling pressure area because you've got this dynamic range that's coming down and pushing that price action lower. So this is where we're going to get our little bit of pullback and then the next move up. I might take just one and buy into this. I don't want to miss this next wave up to the 600, so I'm going to take one and I might buy a second. I'm going to take one. I wanted it to pull back down here, but it looks like it's just going to want to run. I don't want to miss the whole move. Don't want to miss the whole move, so we've got one contract on. I'm going to look to probably buy another if it pulls back down here. Otherwise, I'm just going to let this one contract run up to the 600 to get out. Maybe let it blow past VWAP. Man, that was another just stupid mistake. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5 stupid trading mistakes on this. I'm not going to blame it on anything, but switching over to motive wave in the last week and trying to trade on this when I've been trading on TradingView has been unique. So I need to go in and check all my defaults on this new workspace because it looks like my trading defaults are not on or not set up correctly. What do you think, Wave? Are you in? Max drawdown for me is... Okay, yeah, so you're on the mini too. Max drawdown for me is a $500 stop. So a hard $500 for me is on a trade. My usual mental stop is $150 to $250. So if I'm in drawdown $250 on any given trade, I'm reevaluating my decision and my entry, and usually gonna just get out. If I'm trading one contract, it's $250 per contract. That's the simple answer. My max drawdown is $250 per contract is where I usually set my stop. It can vary in between that, but that's typically where I tend to set my stop. The problem with trading micros is I have to take more contracts, right? So I mean, I guess we could do that on this account. I've always traded the mini, so I trade the mini in my normal account. Hang on a second. 1 second. Hey. Hang on, my wife's calling me. Hopefully she's not on the side of a road somewhere with a bale of hay. Hey, can you hear me? All right. She's just telling me she loves me. If you trade micros, you'll be able to trade without a stop, and you'll have less fear. So yeah, so in some situations, yeah, but the so to get back to it, before she called the for me, trading minis is my sweet spot because I don't tend to stay in trades very long. So what I'm looking for is just a break or just a simple 2 to 3 minute move with confirmation and then take profit. So what I'm looking to is to take one larger contract with less size that I can make $100, $200, $500 in the move and then get out. That is usually what I when I trade micros. Trading micros for me puts me into a longer term trading mentality. So when I'm scalping or doing my intraday trading, there's 920 move. That was some big pressure, some big selling pressure that just happened right there off the 1 minute. So that looked like some selling off of the VWAP, and that is going to make me want to take my profits here and bail on this trade. When I'm trading the micros, I tend to want to do like what you're saying, average into a trade, hold for longer for the longer move. So I'll start looking at like a 15-minute 1 hour chart or a 5-minute chart for a longer move with micros and accumulate size and then peel off contracts or phase out of a trade. When I'm trading the minis, this is just an in and out trade. Here, I mean, we're at 920. I do not see any kind of news here that's causing this, but I'm gonna maintain the position and hold it. If on the 1 minute we start pushing back by here, I might actually buy another contract into this sell. So I'm not listening. Normally, also too, I listen to some of the news that's going on, so I can keep a pulse on what's going on in the market. But I got flagged on YouTube the last time I had something playing and streaming. So I want to take another contract here. I'm going to buy into this. So we got 2 contracts on right now. So we got 2 contracts on. I'm gonna let this play out. I bought into this this lower wick. I'm gonna let this thing kind of ride up and just take it and watch this play out to the 600 or to a touch of VWAP. I think that's probably where we're gonna go. What is Elliott wave flat pattern? We got 2 contracts on. We took one up here and one down here. We're gonna let that. We're gonna let this thing play out a little bit. I've got a hard stop set down here in this range, so you can see the stop. So this is just shy of the morning lows. I've got that set here at 359. That'd be about a $500 loss on this trade. I'll search for it real quick. Elliott wave flat. Flat correction. Three types of Elliott waves. So we got a regular flat, an expanded flat, and a running flat. And then after that, you've got the start of the first part of a wave. So this is looking like, if we're looking at it, it's looking like I guess we're looking like an expanded regular flat or a regular flat. I see what you're talking about now. So it's what it's looking to do is to set up into a new low so that it can go and start it's a new wave, basically. That's what I'm seeing. We got 5 minutes till market opens. We need for this to come back up. I like what's happening here. I think we have the right idea. I think we set that new low. It definitely broke structure. We're into either a solid area consolidation, which I guess would be what you're talking about with the flat wave. Or it looks like it's probably going to make a push back up here into the open. I really don't want to hold through open, but I feel like we've got a pretty good position here. All right, so here's the move back up. And I'm going to need more coffee today. Yeah, with the Elliott weave being more, I see what you're saying with being proactive. You got to kind of anticipate the move. For me, I guess it comes back down to like why I like trading the minis. Oh crap. Well, that's not what I wanted, and I have no idea where that came from, and I need to be watching the news because that was a lot of selling pressure. That was a lot of selling pressure. So we've got, I need to get back in here. I need to have my news channels pulled up if I'm gonna trade. All right, I'm gonna have to put in some headphones or something because I gotta know what's going on. And that move meant someone did something. And usually I'm paying attention to other stream. How can I do this? Trying to figure out where the pressure came from. We'll listen to Josh in the background here for a second. I don't know. I think it's just people selling off. I'm going to have to set that up. I need to set up my news feed so I can listen to that while regular flat pattern. Yeah. Well, and there's the reversal. So I don't know where this liquidity came from, but a bunch of people just came into the market, and now we've got we've got the action happening here before 9:30's open. Looks like I'm going to be holding this into the open and letting this ride. This might have just been people repositioning for open. That's what that probably was. Some big buyers, some big buyers repositioning for their market open. I think we're going to get stopped out on this, to be honest. And this goes back to that trading psychology I was just telling you guys about. I have this stop down here for a reason, to protect me, but it's a mental thing. If I actually think price action is going to come down here and touch this, why wouldn't I take a short position and just hold it over time waiting for it? Yeah. So what I need we've got 10 seconds to open. I guess we're just going to ride this thing out. I'm just going to stay confident in the trade. Had a little bit of reaction here on the 1 minute, and we got 5 seconds to open. I'll probably get out as soon as this thing pops. Otherwise, we're going to get stopped out on a market open. It's data. There's the open. There's the initial move, and we're out. That's it. There's the move. Short. There's the move short. It is still going. So we took a $480 hit on that trade, and now I have an official losing streak. We have, what, 5 losing trades in a row, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 5 losing trades in a row. I'm going to have to adjust my risk parameters until I get back back in line with the market. Right now I'm just not seeing it, and I'm trying to trade here, and I'm just not in sync, not seeing it. So we're down today on the session. We're down 1,000. 1125. So we're down 1125 on the day. That puts us pretty deep into drawdown. We're about $700 into drawdown now on the TOPSTEP account. It doesn't make me feel good, but it is not also something that we can't get ourselves out of by the end of today. We're just gonna have to look for good setups. Gotta look for good setups. I was hoping for a retest. It didn't. We ended up getting flushed out on this VWAP test. It actually didn't even come up here and touch it. So I was hoping for a little test here. We were going to get out and bail on the VWAP. But it decided to reverse beforehand. Let this thing play out too. Where do we have to go today? So we've still got all this action down here on the 5-minute chart. Let's see on a 5-minute, where are we? Where can we be? So we got a new low that's here at 314. Let's go and set that for an intraday low. Let's set this up here. All right, so we got 318 for a low of the day. It's pushing back up, and there's the run. So we just weren't positioned correctly. Are you in now, Elliot? Or are you Wave? Are you in? You got a trade on now? All right, so now we've got something to look at. And we got a little bit of a range here today that I can now start to see. So right now I'm just going to take it easy. I'm gonna wait for this to play out. I think that we're gonna see a little bit of volatility here until about 10 a.m. Either way, it looks like you had Europe. Was this Euro open? Yeah, so you've got a lot of sell-off pre-market, and I think that you're going to start seeing some covering, some short covering, or some repositioning from the euro as we go into 11:30 today. So you're going to start seeing a lot of people trying to reposition and get out of their trades before the end of day. Euro, so that's going to be 11:30 Eastern. So I'm going to wait for that to kind of play out and see what starts happening, if they're going to continue to push this market down. But we don't have, where do we have to go? Let's get back to our 1 hour. I mean, this is pretty clear that we are coming back down here. On a 1 hour chart, I'm still thinking, I mean, I still feel like we have room to come all the way down here. 37 200s seems to be where we're headed. I went against my instincts on what I should be. I mean, even when I was setting up for this morning, I said, we're looking for shorts. We're looking for shorts, and then I took a long. One, two, 1, 2. I'm out. Let's reset this, and I'm gonna check my defaults real quick because I should have had a good trade on that buy this morning, and I just had it set up wrong. Buy. All right. Hotkeys are good. That's a stop. That's a limit. That's a market. So let's try and make sure that these work. All right, I'm gonna be a little bit boring here for a second. If you end up jumping in on something, let me know. But otherwise, I'm gonna just kind of sit here and try and not talk and just take a look at my charts and make sure that I'm seeing this right, because I feel like I'm gonna want to short here again after taking a look at the 1 hour chart. We have room to 437. We have room all the way up here. So for me, I feel like this is probably a short. Just waiting for this to set up. We had the initial emotion, so we had this big flush reaction here, And now we're kind of settling into the direction, the momentum for the day. I'm just waiting for that to become a little bit more clear. And it's looking short, so I'm looking for a little bit of a break of structure here on the 1 minute. We're getting trapped, so if I draw a trend line, this is currently kind of what's happening. You've got just kind of this little consolidation happening between the dynamic upper range and this trend line here. I think I'm probably going to take this one too. So it's coiling up. You can see what's going on. So it's going to break one of these ranges here in a second and give us a tell. Just waiting for that to happen. There's the long. Still didn't get past it. I can sit here and say I think it's going to short. There's the break. I'm taking that. So now I'm short. I'm short. We got a little bit of a break of structure. This is going to push, probably retest lows. So now I'm just going to wait and watch. Just going to wait and watch. Pretty big buying pressure. Back out of this range. A little bit of a fake pump. We'll see what happens. We might end up getting stopped out again. Another $500 loss. What I don't want to happen is for it to come up here and then hit VWAP and then continue on its downward trend. So actually that's what I'm going to do today. I'm just going to set this long and ride this a little bit longer than what I want to. I'm going to set this stop above VWAP. And I'm going to let this short play out over a little bit longer of a time frame because I feel like we're going to get this chop back and forth, and it's not really respecting much of the range. So you've got just a lot of movement here in this area, and I'm going to let this trade kind of play out a little bit longer. Get the short down to the 200s. And try and get out when it touches that point for a reversal. So what I'm looking for is for this to continue down here and get something off of 253. So actually, we'll draw just to kind of so that we know where we're at here. So we're looking for something in this area. This is going to be an exit point for us today in this trade. I'm going to let that kind of play out today. Go back over to the 1 minute. So we're catching a little bit of that back. Up 200. Letting it continue to flush. We're going to let that continue to flush until we get down to one of these levels. So we're looking like 253, 259. So 259 is a pretty interesting point for us. I think that's going to be our exit, and then we're going to start looking for a long for the rest of the day after it bounces off that. Be nice to try and get some of this back. Let's go. Continue to flush. Give me one big flush right now. Let's go. Continue down. Continue down. So I'm watching the 1 minute right now. We're in this trade. It kind of has found a little bit of buying pressure here at the 320s. So I'm waiting for that to kind of vet itself out and then hopefully get another leg down happening here. Waiting for this. So you got these dynamic range. So this moving average right here, I'm waiting for this to come down. It's probably going to want to catch up before it pushes down. And otherwise, what I'm hoping for is we just get another big selling, big red candle is what I'm looking for. Big red candle at this point in time. We could see consolidation until this moving average catches up to the action and then another push. But what I'm hoping for here at this point in time is some people taking profits, and then we're going to see another move. Taking profits and another move. There's new low. There's the new low. So that's encouraging. I'm going to stay in this. I'm feeling still pretty confident that this is going to continue to go down. At this point in time, I might bail if this starts to push back up here. I might just take like 150, 200 bucks and run. So this is the kind of trading we were doing yesterday, and it was actually working out, but I was doing it on the stupid practice account, so it wasn't actually accumulating money. It's just kind of these nice little $200 wins, and except we were doing it in a practice account, and that was awful. So finally, we're back here, and I think I just need to be a little bit more diligent in making sure that I've got my my order panel correct before I start trading for the day, because that was a little bit of an ego hit yesterday to have $400 in wins and it not count. So I guess if we actually go back that far, we're not on a 5 trade losing streak. We're more on like a 3 trade losing streak. And then this will break the streak if I can just cash out here. Just waiting for it. There's the flush. Come on. Eat it. And just eat it. Golly, with every new candle, you're getting a little bit of a lower low, and I'm losing confidence. I need to see that volume come in. This is not confident. If it breaks back up here, I'm going to take this money. I'm done. So I'm out. I made, what, $250, $300. So $300 on that trade. So we made a little bit of money back. I'm happy with that. I'll take the trade and be good, right? Break the losing streak. Break the losing streak. Let's see if we can get a retest and another flush. We'll double check. All right, so we're down $9.15 in the account today. So we're not doing too shabby. We're going to make it back slowly and steadily. We're going to make this money back. Slowly and steady. Slow and steady. So we made about 185 bucks. So I got a bad fill. I've been doing that a lot lately. So TOPSTEP is I'm not getting great fills right now, especially through Motive Wave and TOPSTEP. It's like yesterday we had that trade. We were up like 400, and we submitted a market sell, and it was laggy. I mean, we're talking about like 4-second lag in that order. We ended up losing $200 on that trade, or 200 to 400. So we closed out 200, and it was what we should have been able to close out 400 on that trade because of the lag. All right, so this is what we got out. So now we've got this catch up and a push back off. This is probably where we're going to start seeing another leg form. So what I'm waiting for is there's two things that are keep me out of this trade. So when I'm looking at the spaghetti models now, so I took that trade and I liked it. I took the trade and I liked it. This is the move. We caught some of this move, right? And now it's going to want to come back up. So now what I need for this is to get back in on the 5-minute on this range before I feel confident in another setup. So when you've got extension on the 5-minute, but you've got close into range on the 1-minute, a lot of times that's going to create a consolidation area, an area of consolidation before the move can happen again. So unless you've just got a lot of people making market orders, pushing this market down with news, this price action needs to get closer to the range on the 5-minute, and so it's going to sit here and consolidate. So on the 1-minute, you're going to get a lot of false indicators. So I'm going to wait for this to kind of play out, and I'm going to wait for the 5-minute line to catch up. What's your entry, Wave? What are you what price are you looking to enter? Are you looking at the this line over here on the outlook? So are you looking at like 259? Are you looking at this point right here as your entry for a long? Because I still feel like we need to come down and touch that today before it reverses and goes long. I feel like we still have a lot of pressure taking us down in that direction. So I really feel like the pressure is here. So you've got, we're sitting here. I think that we still need to touch down here before we can make a move back up. We need to be here, and then again this 3,700 is looking really tasty. So with any kind of downtrend like this, we need a clear reversal. Nothing has really said that right now. So I feel like if we get down here into the the 250s, then at that point in time, we're gonna make a hard market decision at the end of today whether or not we're gonna start making a move back up into a bull rally again. But more likely than not, we'll hit here and continue in this kind of pattern, and the probabilities are bringing us down into this 3,700 on the Dow over the next couple days. That's what the probabilities are saying. Yep. All right, so we're getting tight here again around these ranges. So this is going to create some pressure on the 1-minute. We'll see if it decides to push back down. Yep, 37,260 for longs. Okay, so we're in line with that. So you feel like the market needs to come back down too. At least it needs to come back down into that range before we can push back up. So we're in alignment with that. And the question is now, do we short or do I take this short, knowing that all three of these charts wanted to go back down there? That would be a pretty solid short. Just how long does it take for it to decide to do that? We could just fade all day long and touch that region before pushing up tomorrow, Friday. What kind of news do we have coming out tomorrow? What's the news coming out tomorrow? We've got so 10:30 today. We have natural gas and cruise. We got a lot of energy related news all the way through. So then we've got so today is full all the way through 12. All the way through 12. These bill auctions in the last 4 trading sessions have been big market movers. So the bond and the bill auctions over the last like 4 or 5 trading sessions have been pushing the market around, and then we've got the mortgage rate to come out. So we'll probably see some of the bigger action this afternoon, which means I might take a pause here. Then Friday, tomorrow, pre-market, nothing. Then you've got Michigan sentiment, Fed bar. That might do something at 1 p.m. Yeah, so I think that's probably the move. I think we're gonna fade today and stay around that 260 mark, and then tomorrow, unless these bond auctions just really this afternoon. So 11:30 to 12 o'clock, we're gonna see a lot more of the move. I think right now we're just gonna enter into a little bit of a consolidation period. It's moments like this when you decide, do I stay on stream and continue to talk to myself, or do I call it right now, let this consolidate, and then hop back on after a little bit of consolidation has happened. Had one good trade. Looks like it's trying to come back up here. So I think actually what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let the market play out for a little bit. I'm gonna go get some things done around the house, and then try and hop back on here around 11:30 for the news. I think all the action's gonna happen in the afternoon. The day is young. Yeah, I know that's a problem though, right? As a trader, I have to have some work-life balance in order for things to be productive in my life. And I've got 2 other companies that I run, plus homeschool the kids that has to get done today. And so there's lots of things that have to get compacted into a small amount of time called the day. And usually trading all day long like this gets me into trouble. So normally taking breaks and coming back is where I find the better setup. I do have an alert set for 259. So 37, 259, I have an alert set down there currently. I have that set through TradingView. So maybe I'll pull that up tomorrow. But I do like a lot of the research charting, so planning and stuff overnight when I'm just messing around. I do all that on my TradingView charts, so that I don't accidentally do like what I did today, which is mess with some kind of default or accidentally move a trend line when I'm trying to find some stuff. So I normally do all my research through the TradingView charts, and then I'll take what I think is good and migrate that over here to my actual live chart. So we took that trade. That was good. So we that was a good short. We took it. We're gonna let this thing consolidate a little bit. We're still down $900 on the day, so I want to dig myself out of that hole a little bit. So I'm not gonna walk away completely today, but I think for right now, I'm gonna let this consolidate and do what it wants to do. I'm gonna let this figure out what it wants to do until about 10:30. I'm gonna give it 30 minutes, and I'll probably get back on here and take a look and see what's going on. So anyway, until then, man, I hope that was entertaining enough to watch me lose money. And then hopefully by the end of today, we're back positive in the account. But I don't want to overtrade, and if I stay on here and do this, I'm gonna overtrade into something that I don't want to do. So anyway, I'll see you guys on the other side. Thanks for joining in.